Now, there's been a big shakeup, apparently, in the Democratic playing field, according to the latest Iowa poll. They're saying Mayor Pete has surged 16 percentage points, making him the #1 candidate at this moment. Amazing. Now, as we know, this is going to keep, people are up, then they're down, then they're sideways, then they're in, then they're out, then everybody's mad. But what do you think Mayor Pete's done that has him pulling ahead right now all of the sudden?
Well, he's a moderate, am I right? He's more of a moderate Democrat.
He wasn't, and now he is. Like, he was campaigning extremely left, sort of in the Beto lane. I think saw the tea leaves on that, and now has run extremely moderate.
Okay, well, so people like that. The only other one there's Klobuchar is like that, and so is Joe Biden. People are excited about Buttigieg. He's fresh, he's new, he's gay. He's a serviceman. He served in Afghanistan. He's married in a very, unless you are a homophobe, he's married in a very traditional marriage. A totally monogamous, and that should appeal to,
he speaks to his faith a lot.
The silent majority out there, whoever they are, and I think it's great. And then also he's openly religious, which is also another positive in this country. So, unless people are going to not vote for someone like him because he's gay, I think he's got a shot.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to try to burst the bubble here, but there's always a sparkly, shiny object in primary politics. I can remember when, like, Herman Cain was polling really high. Newt Gingrich at one point, I think he won South Carolina during primary politics. So he did. I'm just saying. So there's always there's always a bright, shiny candidate. Howard Dean, and then infamously yelled whatever. My problem with Mayor Pete right now, for a few different reasons, is I don't know if we would be talking about a candidate who was polling at 0 or 1% with white voters, the way we are talking about a candidate who is polling with 1% with black voters. He has a serious problem and blind spots with the African-American community. He came out with his Douglas plan over the weekend, and some black leaders that were on the menu never actually supported the plan. Others weren't black at all, and a stock photo used featured a Kenyan woman and her child right here. This is very sloppy, and it's very disrespectful. So, again, he may be doing very well in Iowa. It doesn't really matter until you get to New Hampshire and South Carolina.
What was wrong with that picture exactly?
Those aren't real people that supported him.
Well, they're real people, but they're not American. They're here.
They're real people. They're not.
They're not African American. They're African.
It's a stock photo, so I understand that.
I've
the
said
image
this
was
a lot.
It was done by a low-level staffer.
I've said
not
this
him.
often about Pete, Mayor Pete. I like him. I like some of the things that he has to say, but he has had a problem historically in South Bend, where he is the mayor, with the African American community. I went to law school in South Bend, have gone back there several times, spent a lot of time in that community. He is not embraced by the black community. He's had as much as he should, because he is somewhat popular there.
But is that an open and shut case?
Well, I think if you're polling at 1% at this point,
it's much lower than Trump.
Anywhere,
for whatever that's worth.
It's problematic. And I asked him some questions when he was on our show via satellite about the gentrification issue that was going on in South Bend. I don't think he had a great answer for it. And he didn't really have a great answer for reparations when I asked him. He didn't have a lot great answers for a lot of the issues that face the African-American community. And with this rollout of the Douglas plan, which was supposed to be addressing the African-American community, he rolled it out in a very sloppy way.
But he didn't do it. A low-level staffer did it.
But your staff is...
I get that.
They're proxies.
How can you say that people are endorsing you and they're not?
The one thing I will say that's positive about this for me is that Governor John Bel Edwards just won re-election in Louisiana, and he's a pro-gun, anti-abortion Democrat. So the idea that there's not a lane for moderate Democrats is shown, at least in this election, that's not true, that there is a lane for moderate Democrats across the country.
And there are
he's
a lot
showing that.
Yeah.
Do I think Mayor Pete is going to be the Democratic nominee? Absolutely not.
But didn't this guy in Louisiana...
Because you can't become president with no black support across the country. It's ridiculous.
I know that. That's right. That's why Biden is ahead.
Yes.
But this other guy in Louisiana, the Republican, he hooked his star on Trump, and that's why he lost.
And that's very
That's a really more important point, is when you hook up with the devil, they're not going to vote for you.
The Midas touch doesn't work anymore with Trump.
But a pro-gun, anti-abortion Democrat just got reelected in Louisiana. So I do think it's interesting. I think he's campaigning very well in Iowa. But again, Iowa is a different place for Republicans than it is for Democrats running. It always has been, as you have made the point several times.
Especially because of the lower
That being
African-American
said,
population there. I think
that
it's
being
at
said, you said it before.
3.4%.
It's not a king-making state in the way that it once was.
No,
and
it isn't, but let us not discount anyone.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not, but
No, I'm just saying it just as a general thing because I think sometimes people hear things the way they want to hear them, and we're not discounting anyone. We're just making you aware that this is what's happening in the broader picture.
I love Iowa, but
yes.
I also think that the caucus, I have always had a problem with the caucus in general because I don't think the caucus is the same as a primary. And I do believe that once you get the momentum rolling in New Hampshire, historically, it always makes a difference. And again, there are many candidates that have won Iowa handily and never come close to the presidency. Rick Santorum.
I have a legal note.
Yes, you do.
Okay, Buttigieg's campaign confirmed to the Washington Post that the photo of the Kenyan woman was no longer on the website, noting that it had been taken down in September during an update to the page. A contracting firm had chosen the stock image while building the site without knowing that it was taken in Africa, according to the campaign.